Bitcoin's alive, what you gon' do? Mempool fees are high. Ordinal. Where does it stop? Nobody knows. It's a revolution, ayy. Bitcoin is the one, no substitution, ayy. Wish is in your go be it's Ordinal revolution.
Welcome back to Ordinal Revolution. My name is Shizzy. On this channel, we cover the entire Bitcoin Ordinal ecosystem. What's up, guys? We have an amazing show for you guys today. Today, we'll be covering Bells. We've been doing a series called Bells Corner here for a while, and today is another episode of that. It's been a little while. Yeah, I mean, the price action for Bells hasn't been good. Really, the whole space, though, right? Not just Bells. I mean, you got everything in our ecosystem just down only. Bitcoin's been the only really stable asset, and we were projected to start moving up. I mean, me and Yago have been saying it for a little while. Usually after the CPI, we usually get a pump up. That's what's been happening the last couple months. And yeah, and then today ByBit happens, right? So if you're watching this, it's probably Sunday. But today is Friday. We're recording this, so we're going to cover a little bit of the ByBit stuff and kind of dig into Bells and all the updates and everything else. So I'm really excited for this one. So without further ado, we bring in my partner here, as always, Mr. Yago B. What's up, buddy?
What's up,
man? So it's been a while since we got a Bells Corner episode. Really looking forward to this. I know you are too.
Yeah, definitely. Excited to hear the updates from the Bells team, the core team, and then the thing with Bells and me, like I hold Bells, I make it no secret, but I just don't look at the price action, and I do that for a lot of my portfolio right now because of the we're just in this kind of dark times of before hopefully we get that bull run of 2025 that we all expect, right? Yeah. And I'm not worried about Bells because Bells has its own chain environment. They are gonna have Opcat. And the one thing about them too is like their wallet support and wallet team, Nintendo and core builders, they're always looking for ways to enhance the chain. And I think Bell's going to look completely different, 6-12 months down the road from now.
Yeah, I think so too. I think, especially with the adoption of Litecoin that we know it's coming, it's probably going to get an ETF and everything that comes with that. I mean, you got to remember Bells is a fork of that, right? So, and I think we're going to get a cycle where proof of work is a big deal eventually down the line, whether that's, this year or next year. I do think we see a proof of work run, and Bells is definitely going to be one of the ones that really push. But without further ado, let's bring them in. Adam Mcbride, welcome back to Ordinal Revolution.
What a day, bro. What kind of crazy timeline is this, man? $1.4 billion. How is that even possible? How? I mean, dude, I have no money and I have like 50 wallets. How do you have everything? Literally 1/20th of the entire value of the exchange in one wallet. I mean, damn, bro. Damn.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I just don't even know how you hack a multi-sig. Like I can understand, gun to the head, something like this happens, but this highly complex. I mean, how does it even happen?
Yeah,
That a multi-sig gets like hacked like this. It's either like crazy Mossad type stuff or some inside dude who's like, figured out, shoot, this place is going down. Let's make a run for it.
That would be wild if it was Mossad, though, and actually make the story a lot more interesting. But just to give the audience kind of a maybe an understanding of $1.4 billion. We hear billion a lot in our space, and sometimes we kind of just think, okay, yeah, that's a lot of money, but we hear billion a lot. Okay, so 1 million seconds is 11.5 days. 1 billion seconds is
33 years, bro.
31 years. So that's a lot of times people say you're lucky if you become a millionaire, but you ain't gonna be a billionaire. You know what I mean?
Totally different.
That's a lot of money.
We lose all perspective of what a billion is. Obviously, a billion's nothing in our government sends $1 billion every half second, so we lose total track of what that means. It's a tremendous amount of money, and obviously this isn't. I think they said their total assets under on the exchange were like 24 billion. So it's massive for them. I wouldn't be surprised. Obviously, there's a run for the bank, right? There's a run for the exits right now because this is the type of stuff that just takes down these exchanges, and we know that when bankruptcy lawyers get involved and all this sort of stuff, it can take years to get your assets. I mean, I think the FTX thing is just now starting to pay off for just some holders. So obviously, you know, if it was my money, if you have money on that exchange, I'd get it out immediately if you can.
Yeah.
That's just good advice because we've seen this rodeo's happened.
I mean,
Dozens
you say
of
that
times.
with all exchanges, get your funds out of exchanges, and like there's people coming out and saying, "Well, yeah, I feel comfortable in ETF." Like this could happen there too. You know,
100%.
this could happen everywhere.
Yep.
You know, and that's why people, oh, it's the safest place in the world. It's the safest place in the world until it gets hacked. It's the safest place in the world until they lose your funds. But this is a good test for ByBit. If they can get through this and get on the other side of this within a few months, they're going to be looked at as one of the top exchanges again, because this
sure.
isn't an easy thing to get through. I mean, FTX couldn't do it, right? Because they were using
They
custom
were
funds.
straight up stealing, right? So different story, right?
Yeah.
Different
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna find out if they were, right. We're gonna
That's
find
true.
out today. So
That's true. I mean, I think, you know, people, I've tweeted about it a bunch. I think actually the biggest risk to crypto in general is actually Coinbase. Because Coinbase, they cold store like all these ETFs, all these big
and
banks who are holding
Sailor,
Bitcoin.
yeah.
But I mean, do they have a good system? You hope so, you know. But as you
Yeah.
know, it's good. It's great until the day it doesn't work. You know, I remember
Yeah.
reading an article a few years ago about the way Coinbase does it, and it's Faraday cages and laptops that they run through a wood chipper after, and all this sort of stuff. And you're like, that sounds good, you know. It just sounds good until it's not good, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Well, I think using cold wallets is definitely better than a warm wallet. By the way, warm wallet meaning
Yeah, they changed the wording on that, bro. I
is
was
that a
laughing.
more secure hot wallet?
Warm wallet. What does that mean? That's just a hot wallet that's not as hot. What is that? Is that a multi-sig hot wallet? I don't know. But this was cold storage wallets. Like this is a, you know, a Gnosis safe, which they've now rebranded to just safe, which I've used, you know, with companies and stuff, and you know, even the Bell's coin, you know, funds that we have in a multi-safe. That's all done through, you know, Gnosis Safe. These are incredibly secure mechanisms that it was done. And I guess over the next months or so, they'll figure it out what actually happened, you know, how it was hacked. It seems very unlikely that it was hacked at the safe level. More, but even if it was hacked at the user interface level, you know, that none of these people were using, you know, a ledger or something else where you're confirming it at the, you know, at the device level. Seems unlikely. And then if you are confirming at the device level, that means the screen itself was hacked in some way. It gets to this level of like, well, how crazy is this? Yeah, who knows, man? It's just wild. Wow.
So I guess the question is now, what happens next, right? We're I mean, we're due for a crappy weekend. I mean, Bitcoin right now is sitting at 96,600. When you're watching this, I wouldn't be surprised if it was 92,000 and maybe lower. This could send us pretty low. This is one of the biggest exchanges in our industry, and they had a lot of credibility, and that's gone. And but that now it's a question of well, you know, if there's another exchange that this can happen to, or another one, right? So if it does happen again to another exchange, and this is a thought out process that's been done by, you know, let's just say North Korea or someone like that, I mean, it could get really worse before it gets better.
I mean, the answer is yes. For me, actually, I'm like, how bad, you know, how bad is it? You know, you just pulled $1 billion of liquidity out of the market. You know, I don't, who knows, man? I don't know. It just, it's bad for crypto. Obviously, these are never, you know, money stolen is never positive. You know, it is what it is.
I feel
You
like
just
a lot.
have stuff on exchanges, man. It's just
Yeah.
that's
I feel like a lot of like exchanges or like a lot of decentralized like exchanges or bridges or whatever that like end up getting hacked. They're pretty quick on it and they are in communication with the hacker a lot of times. But with this case, I feel like a lot of people don't have confidence that ByBit's going to be able to retrieve any of this. You know, why is it different this time? You know, because they those other you know, hackers for just different instances, they could have used the mixer, they could have done these things, but they decided to give, you know, whatever back and stuff like that. But I feel like people aren't as confident this time. Why do you think that is?
Because it's difficult to do. I think what we've seen in the past is these exchanges don't have a great track record of negotiating that, which seems crazy. Because, for example, if I just stole $1.4 billion, and then you look at the big hackers in the past, that crazy couple with the woman who sings, that crazy woman, they're the largest. Up until today, they were the largest hackers ever. And I joked about it on the timeline, like they were trading it for Target gift cards, right? That's how difficult it was to turn that hacked money into cash, right? So if you think about it and you say, ByBit could say to these guys, look, they could start at, I don't know, $50 million in clean funds, or $100 million, in clean funds. If I was a hacker, you'd take that every day and twice on Sunday.
No questions asked, kind of.
No, that's not true, because now you're going to get arrested and put in jail because
No,
they're
not
going to give you
this-
this money.
No, not if they, I mean, look, there are ways of doing it, and ways of doing it legally, where it can be basically your bug bounty, and you can do it this way. And the bug bounty is $75 million and was worth it. And
Yeah.
these guys can literally walk.
It would have to be a legal
What's stopping?
exchange.
Well,
Legal
what's
exchange.
stopping them from? I mean, you can say that's right, but then pressing charges and be like, you know what? No, we just wanted our funds back.
No. But if you obviously bring like a lawyer in and
Yeah,
say,
but they
okay,
did a criminal charge, right? So you're negotiating to get your stuff back. You can just say it was a fake lawyer. He wasn't even a lawyer. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
there's still risk. There's still risk with that. If I'm the thief, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is this money, the $1.4 billion, is like
worth it to get it back.
Yeah, that's just like I've seen.
That's true.
I guess it was probably a year ago. There was a great thread and video about this one guy who was actually did these negotiations for crypto teams, and he said that almost universally, teams will do this sort of exchange, and they almost never. Charges are almost never he's never, even when he's worked with a team, they've never pressed charges after. So there's this guy, it is kind of a handshake deal.
Okay.
But the reality is that, it's either take a fraction and then be, not look over your shoulder the rest of your life and actually have funds.
Yeah.
Or always look over your shoulders. And who knows, this could be a North Korea, real baddie guys, and they might not be interested anyway, right?
I mean, this wasn't them looking into code and, oh wow, there's an exploit here, we can get this, right? This is a well thought out method. Like, even if there's a deal coming, all the other governments are gonna be like, yeah, we need to figure out how these guys did this, and then make sure they don't do this again.
Right. I mean, well, the biggest security holes are people, right? Always.
But you had to get 4 of them this time.
You had to get 4, dude. And so that's the thing. It's like, did they get 4 computers hacked? Like, I guess anybody. Yes, they could. It just seems like, wow. Actually, sorry.
Yeah.
Well, it's a 3 of 5. So they had to. It was I think it was a 3 of 5
majority.
So they had to get 3. If 1 was in on it, then you only had to get 2 more. I mean, I don't know, man. It's crazy town stuff. But I mean, you just see stuff like this all the time. I mean, a guy was hacked, for his Coinbase account for $250 million in Bitcoin like 2 months ago. And you're like, how did that happen? It turned out to be an 18-year-old kid who got this guy on a phone call and walked him through it. Walked him through, giving him his 2-factor authentication to get into his Coinbase account. Like, It's just, it's people make mistakes, man. It's crazy town, man.
Yeah, 100%. I was thinking about this too. I was like, what if the hacker just he has a lot of ETH, right? What if he just sent, all the ETH to 10,000 wallets, and let's just say 500 were his, right? And or something like that. I mean, how would you even track something like that and say, oh no, I guess when they went to the exchanges, confiscate it,
It gets impossible. I tweeted out earlier, I think NFT bull running coming, because this is like the old joke. Like, how do you I think a friend of mine on the timeline was like, create the crime floor. A new crime floor is going to be established on Bored Apes and Punks, and it's like, it's just how do you wash? It's like anything. Crypto provides great
Yeah.
opportunities to wash funds. You can buy. There's all sorts. I mean, there's thousands of ways now. You know, you can do whatever Monero. You do all sorts of stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, every move they make like this, when it finally touches an exchange, just provides another opportunity for them to get grabbed, right? And you know, this will be tracked for the rest of our lives if, you know, until these guys are caught, right? It's that much money that this is not going to fall off anybody's radar forever, right? So, you know, yes, you can launder stuff. Yes, you can use Monero. Yes, you can, you know, trade NFTs to try and wash the funds. But the moment it goes to an exchange, these dudes are at risk.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. All right, let's kind of get into
1.5 billion in your pocket, but you're on the run for the rest of your life. I don't know. Probably
Not worth it.
Not worth it.
I don't know, man. 1.5 billion. I think that might be worth it. Like,
No.
come on, dude. That's 37 years.
Always looking over your shoulder. And as time goes on, the case becomes more and more serious.
Totally.
Like, you know, so
Well, yeah,
yeah,
it becomes
coin goes to $1
point.
million, it becomes, you know, $1 trillion theft. And the I mean, it's funny, we were talking about the guy who did the you know, the Libra coin, right? He's got $100 million in a wallet. Technically, that's not even like theft, right? That might be fraud or some other things.
Yeah.
But he could move to, you know, Saudi Arabia today. He could move to Dubai today, and they have no extradition, and he could live there the rest of his days with $100 million. Like, a lot of people would do that, you know.
Yeah.
So it's different though.
You live a really good life with that kind of money for sure.
Sure.
All right, let's kind of get in.
Money goes fast though, bro.
Yeah, 100%. Let's get into bells here. The coin of the hour. So last time we talked to you was in I want to say the second week of January. It might have been before that, but we were talking about potentially bells with this upgrade of Opcat. They actually just did at that point. We're getting runes on bells, and I think that was semi-successful. But I would love for you to take us back to January and kind of give us the updates on what has happened with bells so far.
Well, to be honest, with the price, you know, getting pummeled like everything else in crypto, there's a lot of, you know, people are sad, dude. You know, number go down brutalizes communities for sure. You know, and it's funny, I put out a tweet, you know, showing I was on what was it called? Meme Tank. I don't know if you guys have seen that.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Fred,
Yeah.
you were telling us you were going on that.
Yeah. Fred was doing that. Right. So I put up for belt. Somebody was like, do it, Adam. I was like, whatever. So I put in the application and I went on the show and it was fun.
Did they tear you apart?
No, they were like, bro, this is like all in. Yes, definitely.
Nice.
They're like, what's the pit? You know, what's the offer? This the offer. I was like, the offer is you go buy some. You know, but it's like, but you know, but doing some research, you know, I actually put a little deck together and stuff and pulled up the bells chart, and you know, it's got the classic, you know, 4 giant pull downs, right? And we're in the giant pull down right now. I mean, this is the biggest pull down. Question is, will it come back? And look, there's no guarantee it comes back. And if the community completely went away, it wouldn't come back. But there's still, dude, every morning I check in the Discord, I check in the Telegram every morning, like clockwork. There's 200 new messages. You know, people are still there.
Sign.
You know what I mean? And people are like, fuck it, I'll buy some more. You know, and you know, since we've been through it, and I think it was probably, you know, last April when the price of bells went to, you know, 13 or 14 cents a coin, and people were buying it then, you know, and then we had the run up to $2, and people, you know, were saying to the people who bought it 14 cents, oh, you were so lucky. Oh, you were so lucky. And I was saying, bro, they weren't fucking lucky. They bought when everybody thought this was gonna die. That took balls to fucking do that.
Yeah.
And we're at that point right now again. If you're gonna buy bells now, you gotta have fucking balls. Like, there's no, like, yes, bells could die, and Yar and the devs could just be like, fuck it, I'm gonna go do another project and be done. Like, it could be done, but it might not. And if it's not, then you're gonna be the one they're saying, hey man, you got so lucky to be able to buy it up at whatever it is, 18 cents or whatever, So that's kind of where Bells is. They did launch runes. I didn't mint any, but a lot of people did, because it's like free, and I still see people like, spinning up new coins and shit. And so people are still doing that sort of stuff. But the reality is that, it's the bull market has to come back.
Yeah.
And whether the Bells narrative is good enough to catch fire again, I hope so. I'm hopeful it will. But the reality is like with the timeline being in just mass disarray right now, bro, it's just it doesn't matter what you do. Like we could do anything, right? We could literally have like it's a side chain for fucking Bitcoin and it totally works. People would be like, sell. I don't care. Sell. Nobody would give a shit, right? Because everybody feels poor. So that's my view on where we are.
Well,
and that's all the entire market. That's not just
exactly. I was gonna say you can't really concentrate that just the Bells. That's happening with like 95% of the market, and then the Bitcoin's a part of that other 5%, and then you have some one-offs, right? Like Hype's token from Hyperliquid, and like a couple other things. That's it. But other than that,
it was like IP came out the other day. It went up like
Pi.
Yeah, sorry, Pi. Yeah, Pi. But immediately crashed like 80%. It's just like
exactly. So the thing about Bells is that I like is that it's its own chain. It has core developers. There's a wallet, an indexer that has been asked to index Doge stuff as well. So the developers are obviously good enough to where their services have been asked to, which is not, I wouldn't imagine to be too difficult for them because it's another UTXO chain. And but my question is, what's the morale of the core developers and like the Nintendo team? If you talk to them, are they still kind of like we're marching forward? Opcat is coming, those kind of things, or is it kind of like we're just gonna put a pause on things a little bit right now and until the market gets better? What do you?
They've definitely what they're feeling. I mean, I just saw a chat. I didn't chat with them, but I read what they were talking about. What Yar said in Telegram the other day, and basically he's like, Opcat's ready. We're just not going to release it right now. Simply because there's no
purpose.
if you launch it now, nobody's going to care. It's a waste. It's wasted. So it's just waiting for a better market condition. What they're really working on is integrating Doge. And so, Doge into Nintendo. So I think that'll be really cool. Get a nice competing, Doge wallet, and hopefully give them some revenue, because they're not earning anything, so hopefully give them some revenue and stuff. But I think that's what they're working on. They were saying they had some significant challenges getting like Doginals to like their indexer and stuff working. So significant effort there. But I think that's their focus right now. Not necessarily on Opcat, because as far as I can understand, Opcat's basically done. It's ready.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of like, why release it now? It's not gonna, even if it was the game-changing technology, nobody would give a crap. So it's like wait for
Opcat's only 8 lines of code, right? At the end of the day, it's not much, but you have to just make sure that it's working properly. And if they have it on testnet, it's working properly, and testnet's not down, it tells me a few things, right? It tells me that it's going to work properly on mainnet, because testnet is really just a fork of mainnet at the end of the day. Just so I mean, it's just fake money. So I mean, I have you messed with like has anyone deployed anything on testnet from your knowledge or anything like that?
Not as far. I mean, like I've talked to the script guys, the S script guys, and they've told me that they're interested in doing it, but I don't think they've done it yet. I don't know what's happening with them. Like, you guys would know better than I. What's any word on Fractal?
So last time we talked to somebody, there was rumors that people were creating like their own type of fractal, right? I mean, that's kind of what
supercharged.
It could have been just a rumor, though. Honestly, we don't know 100%, but we heard there's a lot of big players that were building on fractal that maybe were getting together and doing something else. Because the fractal biggest mistake was, merge mining with Bitcoin, because now these miners were just pumping it, or they were just mining and dumping it, right? So they were actually thinking about not letting the merge mine on this new chain. But again, at the end of the day, it's going to be the same thing, right? You get if you don't have everyone's focused on building chains that no one's building apps. It's not about the chain. It'll never be about the chain. It's always about the next big dApp, and everyone wants to build a goddamn chain. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's funny. We talked about this like I guess it was on the show maybe yesterday or the day before. And you're totally right. I mean, I was like, look, there's literally thousands of chains.
9 dApps.
That's exactly
Well,
right. It's
not
like
even the UTXO ones though. The UTXO ones,
No,
they don't even have 9
they don't
dApps.
even have any.
The new
Yeah.
ones.
It's literally nothing. But you think about it, like what have been the transformative apps? It's been like Pump Fun, OpenSea,
Yeah.
and Uniswap.
Polymarket.
You
Polymarket,
know,
right?
maybe Polymarket, but that's like cyclical. That's every 4 years during the presidential election. You know, I mean, literally, I mean, Polymarket or some form of it has happened every presidential election, and it's been successful every presidential election, and then it always dies off. You know, always. So yeah, I mean, dude, that's why I was saying to Jake, if I could have, you know, I mean, look, we all know the guys made, you know, if you made a chain back, you know, in the early days, you became like a billionaire, right? So that definitely had value, and it still does. Like that's why the guys are launching L2s, right? That's why, you know, Ape Chain and Abstract and all these guys are doing chains because it's another liquidity event for them, you know, in their team. So I get it. But the reality is that none of those chains have uses until you get a killer app. And it's it's hard as fuck, period, full stop. Like if you, I mean, I know we were talking about, what was it? AVAX, right? On a show the other day. And it was like, how much would AVAX give to have an app that people use? Like the Pump.Fun or something like that. I mean,
Billions.
I know like gaming app, right? Something that works on that chain. It just,
Virtuals did Base didn't even like work for that. Like Virtuals just went over there. It was like Base is lucky that Virtuals did that.
Very lucky. Very lucky. Very.
And they're not grateful.
Yeah, it's funny they won't list it, but I mean, I think there might be some issues with the token issuance, like how much of the token the team has and stuff like that, that maybe a little shady that Coinbase doesn't want to do. And that was somebody tweeted out the other day about you know, Brett token. Why isn't Brett on, you know, listed? It's like, well, because it had the fucking shadiest launch ever. Team has like 99.9% of the supply. It's like shady. So anyway, I get that, but yeah, the apps are the hard thing, and you know, I'm still hopeful Bells can do something, and it's cheap enough, and you know, if we can get the script guys working, we can show the use cases between Fractal and Bells. I'm still very hopeful that that'll be something interesting, where at least we can see like, what can this be? What is this? Where right now it's just all talk, man. It's literally all
100%.
talk, you know. And Udi, I blame Udi with all this talk, bro. Show me what the fuck it is, Udi. Let's see. You know, I don't want to read your cartoon with pictures of bridges. I want to see the fucking bridges, bro. I want to see them.
It's apparently it's really successful in Signet. I kind of want to go over there and kind of see, but apparently there's a lot going on over there. So I should actually probably dig in there.
Cat
test
VM?
nets are hard when they're not. So Signet actually has Opcat on it running on Bitcoin Signet.
I know, but like you're saying that the Cat VM.
No, Opcat is running over there, so they're actually doing things. So apparently there's like an inside token standard and stuff like that. I don't really know. Like I said, I got to get over there and check it out. But apparently there's some stuff you can do on Signet if you're interested. But when it's not incentivized, it's hard for me to like go at it, right? So
totally, man, totally. It's like, why am I doing this? You know? Like, get XP points. I mean, and I hate farming and all that crap.
Yeah, I love it personally.
Do you really? Man,
I love it for the fact that like I would use it, or like I'm about to go use it for free. It is nice. Like I don't farm hardcore. Like every morning I go on Saturn for Arch and I do a couple swaps. I earn a couple points and I just call it like. And I have like 4 or 5. I do Yala and a few other ones that I'm kind of just farming. But like I plan to just show giveaways with that stuff. Like I'm not even planning to like. But it's for me. It's just like, you know, it's kind of like I get to you know, get views and likes and stuff for giving away stuff that I just spent 15 minutes a day on, right? So it's kind of like that's kind of why I do it. It's kind of a way of giving back to the community as well.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, honestly, what was the one recently? The Yaps one, right?
Yeah, I wish I farmed that.
I should have put in more effort, right? I should have wrote
Yeah.
longer threads, but at the end of the day, like I'm not into it. Like I get it. If I've tried to convince my kid to do it, because I think it's actually when you're starting and you don't have much money, like it's a really good use of your time. You know? But for me, I've done a couple in the past that never. I did one for it was earlier this cycle. Friend of mine was like, bro, Rabby wallets, do it, bro. Create a bunch of wallets, do it. This is gonna be fantastic. Bro, I spent like a day, right? All these wallets, all this stuff, bro. I got like $13 or something. It was
Oh
like,
my God.
it wasn't even worth it wasn't worth anything. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm totally out of the farming business, man.
Yeah,
Totally.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's some that's worth it. You just got to find them, right? Like,
Yeah.
I guess. Yeah.
Well, I like the ones that just like I'm already using and I don't
Magic
know.
Eden.
Yeah,
Magic Eden
like
airdrop is
Magic Eden was a good
$70,000.
one. Unisat Pizza. Obviously like the runestones, like those
Yeah.
those are amazing because you're already using them. You
Yeah,
don't
honestly,
even know.
I forgot about runestones, right? I forgot about that. Was actually for me was funny because like that one, I didn't think I had any. I didn't think I got any airdrops because it wasn't in my, the wallets that I was actually using. Because I actually would only do like, I'm kind of OG like that. I'd only do like one transaction in a wallet and then I make a new wallet, right?
Yeah.
Traditional Bitcoin. That was what I was always told, man. Always use a fresh wallet every transaction. Traditional Bitcoiner. And
A lot of
then,
wallets.
but there was one, I forget what it was. Oh, it was the apes. When the apes were minting out, if you remember the apes were minting, where you could go inscribe them. And I did it in like a couple different wallets for some reason. I don't even remember why. And thing was, if you remember when we were inscribing those, it's like the punks one went first, and then there was the apes one after. And the apes, and I accidentally was doing the compressed version. So I got none of the apes. I wasted like $3,000 on those stupid apes because I was inscribing it. If you remember,
You're trying to get multiple, but you did them all in one inscription.
Well, no, I did. No, I was doing like in Ordinal's bot, there's like a toggle where you could like, shrink the image or whatever. And I had somehow not untoggled that stupid freaking image. So I lost and I had great ones too. I had like number 69, number 420. I had great ones, bro. And then just got I rugged myself because it was the wrong image. But those wallets, it was like 3 wallets or whatever, turned out to be runestone drops. So that was, nice.
Hell yeah.
That was the best farming
awesome.
I've ever done, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's pretty awesome.
I used a lot of wallets. Like I had like I got like 9 or something like that, or just because like I was kind of like you. I just like I don't like having too much in one wallet, right? Like so if one of my wallets got hacked or if something happened, I would have a bad day and not a bad year, right? Like so for me it was just like, oh, I got like $3,000 on this wallet. Let me get another one. So I got lucky. I had like 9 wallets, so I got like 9 runestones. So that was so that was pretty cool. But I did sell them at like
I sold them right away.
I sold most of them right away. I sold the bag right away, but it was free money. I kept a couple, but not as long as I wanted to.
Yeah, that was definitely good times. Definitely good times. But I do want to kind of circle back here to Bells. With I heard that non-KYC is actually trying to list a Bells 20 token, the first one, Nook, I think, right? So that looks like a positive movement. For the audience that's watching right now, okay, there's obviously like a Bells community. It's still part of the merge mining, correct?
Yep.
And so, in for the audience that's like, okay, waiting for something out of this episode to do with Bells, right? We don't want to make some fluff up and say, okay, you guys, this is amazing, this is coming, blah blah blah. What would you say, are the movements? It's the non KYC with Nook. It's waiting for market to get better to release OpCat. Is that pretty much those are the two things right now that are
Yeah, I
the
mean, for me, definitely, the thing that would really move the needle is if OpCat really works in the way we've been told, right? Which is this trustless way to transfer tokens between chains. Like if that actually works, right? And if OpCat, say we enter a bull run and in a month or two, we actually launch OpCat on Bells and the script guys get it working between Bells and Fractal. And this actually works seamlessly. Tokens you can transfer trustlessly across chains works. That's incredibly bullish because if it does happen on Bitcoin, both Fractal and Bells will compete to be a side chain for Bitcoin. I think that's incredibly bullish, right?
Yeah.
You'll be able to trade, Bitcoin assets basically on Bell's coin. Like that's incredibly bullish. That would be amazing. Like if that happens, that would be amazing. It would be amazing for Bells to bring a tremendous amount of value, to Bell's coin. So,
Yeah, even without that like programmable fungible token standard, though, technically you should be able to create some sort of trust minimized bridging between Fractal and Bells anyways, because both would have OpCat.
that's right.
And so you could technically, bridge over a FRC20 or whatever they're called on Fractal to like Bells, right? It would be a synthetic version of it, but at least it could have that trust minimized bridge. With the only difference would be like the accounting would be separate, right? So over here on Bells, you'd bridge it over, and then you'd create like a whatever type of I don't know, like a new token on this side or whatever. And that's where I think things can like there would need to be more development, right? Because they don't have smart contracts right now on those two chains.
Well, I mean, let's be real. Like it doesn't, who cares about between Fractal and Bell? It's really just, it's a use. Like Fractal's a cheap chain. Bell's is a cheap chain. Like that doesn't really matter. What matters is you're taking it from an expensive chain, right? Where it's expensive and slow to do these transactions, which is Bitcoin. And you're moving it to a cheap, fast chain where you can do the transactions quickly. Right. So that's the real use case. I mean, yes, we can build it out with Fractal, and I want to build it out, right, to show the use case. But the reality is that we just want Bitcoin. Like that's it, right? So that's the main thing for me, obviously. All the other stuff, like what we just talked about, like that requires, could Bells have, a more vibrant, have more artists? Sure. I mean, we have a lot already. It's pretty amazing already. But could there be more? Sure. But, that's tough too. It's like, well, where's the best place to do art? Well, I think maybe Bitcoin's the best place to do art, right? But it's also $100 a transaction, or, so all that sort of stuff. Would it be gaming? I'd love to have gaming on Bells, but, where's gaming in anywhere in crypto, right? Like, can we make it happen anywhere? I'd love to, but it's just, you're getting into things where it's just like that would be, it would be unlikely to happen on Bells because it's unlikely to happen anywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So that's all just like, I'd love that stuff to happen. Of course, at the end of the day, anything that's great like that really just requires a couple of dudes in their garage building something amazing. Like, if I could wave a magic wand for my kid, it would be what I would have him do. But this is really fucking hard. Like it's hard for anybody to do shit like that. But that's exciting anyway. But I mean, we got Bitcoin Nashville's coming up. There'll be the
Vegas.
Oh, sorry, Bitcoin Vegas. Yeah, I'm still thinking of last year. Bitcoin Vegas, and the Litecoin Summit's going to be there. I'm going to be speaking at the Litecoin Summit. Wow. I know Luke's going to be speaking at the Litecoin Summit. Being on some panels. I think I'm going to be on, an NFT style like panel for, talk about Litecoin, Bell's coin, just NFTs in general. Luke's going to be talking mining and that sort of stuff. So definitely look forward to seeing everybody in Bitcoin Vegas. And definitely, I mean, I encourage people who are out there, Bitcoiners especially, to, take a couple hours, go over to the Litecoin one. It's pretty cheap. I don't know, $60 or something to get in, and definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Litecoin is full of good people get to talk to Charlie Lee. He'll be there for sure. And just, meet, people who are interested, still very much interested in like freedom money, peer-to-peer digital cash. They're very interested in kind of what I call like traditional Bitcoin values. Litecoiners are good dudes. And so, I encourage people to go over to that.
100%. It'd be cool to do like a Bells meetup as well. Maybe nothing like fancy, but like a small one. Meet the community and stuff like that.
We may have do another awesome giveaway. We're working on getting that done too. So there may be some sick merch. Bells, we're known for our merch. So
man.
Might be
some of the best merch I've seen for sure. I have a question though. So we still have, like, Binance is still mining Bells, right? There's this one of the ones they're doing. They're doing Litecoin, they're doing Doge, and they're doing Bells, and a bunch of other ones as well. Lucky Coin is in there too. What happens if we wake up one morning and Binance just lists Bells? Like, what do you think that does for?
Then the price goes to zero, bro.
I was actually hoping you would say that, because that's what I was gonna.
With the Binance listing,
Yeah.
I mean, God, bro, this is like.
What you're saying, it probably wouldn't be good, because now you got everyone just sending and dumping.
Look, man, at the end of the day, what you realize is, this is a proof of work chain. The miners have been mining for 14 months. They have probably 50 million coins. I mean, I guess, well, there's 58 million now. I mean, maybe I have no idea what the distribution is, but they have a lot still, right? So they would absolutely love to exit some of those positions for sure, right? So I don't know. Somebody's got to do better, like, breakdowns about, like, how much is held by miners, how much has been, distributed to, other people, small wallets, whatever. But you think about that, and we do have, the final epoch is May 4th, May 5th, around that time.
Wow.
And so it's not far off now, man. It's like, and then that's it. Like, then they can dump, but then there's no more, like, the miners aren't going to really have much Bells after that. So, it could get interesting there. I mean, and with Bells and with such a small supply, it doesn't take much to really move the price, which can create some fun stuff too. But we'll see. Who knows, man? Who knows? But yeah, Binance listing. I saw a chart a couple weeks ago. It's like 95% of coins that have got listed over the last 2 years are down like 80% that have got listed on Binance, bro.
That's
It's
horrible,
down only, bro. It's literally,
Yeah.
it's like the kiss of death, man. It's the kiss of death for meme coins.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. If, like, I think you were telling us last week when you had you on for Emblem Vault hour. You're basically saying the same thing, and I took some time and I was looking at it too, and I was like, damn, he's right. Like, anything that gets listed just drops, and it's because a lot of people don't have a way to sell it right now, and a lot of people have Binance accounts, so it's easy for them just to send it over there, especially the large whales.
That's what I was saying,
exit
like,
opportunity
about Dog, right? And I was saying this in anticipation. I think maybe it was with you guys, where it was like, this ability to sell it in other locations isn't always a great thing. For price. I mean, it's a great thing for holder count to expand and that sort of thing, but for price, it's not always great. And I know with Bells, every time we've got listed, so when we, got listed on Gate or MEXC or whatever, every time dump, every time, and you see why. I mean, I understand why. The people who donated to us, right, to get listed. Why would somebody donate $100,000 to get us listed? Well, they donated $100,000 because they just dumped $500,000. So I get it. It's all a game. It is what it is. I'm much more eyes open now than I was, a year ago. I see a little bit of the inside baseball on what happens. And it is what it is, man. Look, everybody's looking for liquidity. And so the exchanges are the big liquidity events, and so price usually drops. Just the way it happens.
Unless we're in like stride for like the bull run, right? That's the only time really that like things are good. Whenever like a centralized exchange lists you, is when everything is like moving up. Then there's kind of like no stopping you. But you're right, unless you have a big brand or a huge project that's like just like everybody in the crypto space is hyped on, even that, like you'll do well for like a week and then pull back. And like there's so many components to it now, like our space, to where like there's whales waiting to short tokens that get listed on Binance. You know, as soon as they get listed there, they wait for like a couple days, and then bam, like they start to short it, and the price goes down, and it's just a nasty effect. And so we'll see how how the
Yeah,
rest of the
thankfully, I don't know much about that because that would just bum me out, like, too much. I got a little bummed on the timeline this last couple of weeks, but it was just so much negativity. I mean, literally everything is just about price, right? And as somebody who has company and trying to, build cool stuff, it's easy to get caught up in that. And I really had to have like a come to Jesus moment where I was like, bro, stop this stupid. I mean, it's not even affecting you. Like, it's not affecting my daily life, right?
yeah.
I'm not selling the stuff anyway. Who cares? Right?
Yeah.
Just get back to doing what you're doing, build cool shit. Because the reality is, to create that hype cycle Iago is just talking about, you have to build something cool. That's it. Like, everything else doesn't fucking matter. You have to build something cool that people want, and that causes people to be hyped, be excited, and then number goes up, right? And so yeah, let's do it, man. Just build some shit, make some shit happen. Obviously, we have great stuff happening with Emblem Vault. Fucking psyched. Going to be in Denver next week. If anybody's in Denver, definitely hit me up.
Yeah.
Shoot me a DM. We'll grab a coffee or just meet up at one of these, infinite side events that are going to be taking place in Denver. It's going to be fun, man.
I'm gonna hit you with the question I hit Jake with earlier. And the whole Mcbride team's gonna be there, and well, a lot of the guys are gonna be there. What do you think the benefits of that are? Just everyone in person over just like people in Las Vegas, people in LA, people where you are, right? So what do you think?
Yeah, I don't think there's anything better than in person.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean you need to go into an office every day, but in person is just, we're still humans, even though we interface, through screens all day long. There's nothing better than human connection and being in person with people. I've always had fantastic times at conferences. I encourage anybody, if you've never gone to a crypto conference and you're in crypto, definitely go to conference. You just do it. Especially even if you're like thinking about working in crypto or whatever, you're in it just trading or whatever, and you want to just maybe get a job, or you're thinking about getting a job. There's nothing better, because people are always looking for talent, always looking for connections. It's how I got my first job in crypto, all this sort of stuff, man. It's just great. And, even somebody like me, who, believe me, I can talk on camera and stuff, but in person, I'm kind of like, a little bit of a recluse. It's still fantastic. Put yourself out there, meet people. And actually what's cool is you meet people who you only know their PFP. And then they show you their PFP on your phone, and you're like, oh, that's you. It's like, yeah, it's me. And, and that's awesome. And almost universally, the people you liked online, you like them even more in person.
That is truth for sure. I noticed that.
So, for sure.
Yeah.
So I encourage it.
The best is like around like we went to Nashville, and like obviously we do a live show every single day. So the best part for us anyway was people actually recognizing us, and just
totally.
At first it was like like you just wanted to run away, like I don't know how to react. But after like the 6th or 7th person, it was like, this is kind of cool. So that's kind of
totally fun. Yeah.
So that's like one of the best parts is like you don't really know them. Well, you know them, but you know their PFP, but they recognize you, and everyone just kind of comes up to you. So I definitely recommend everyone make a little content, and then go to these conferences, because that was like one of my favorite parts.
Totally. And I think especially I would encourage it, especially for Bitcoiners. If you've been siloed into becoming a Bitcoin maxi or anything like that, I definitely encourage you to, if you're at Bitcoin Vegas, please pop over to the Litecoin Conference. I think you'll find incentives are very much aligned, and you'll find a lot of like-minded people. So yeah, if you're a Bitcoin maxi, I think it'll help you get some perspective. And and if you're a shitcoiner, going to the Bitcoin conference and seeing Bitcoiners and talking to them and stuff is it's totally worth it, man. And it's awesome. There's no doubt about it. Every time it's a pain in the ass, and every time I leave a conference, I'm like, man, that was awesome. Every time.
Yeah. 100%. Well, this has been awesome, Adam. Thank you again for spending some time with us and learning, going over bells. I hope the next episode we do is a very bullish
maybe
moment for bells.
Mooning, bro. Mooning. Dude, it's so
Well,
funny how price changes so quick. I can't even remember. It was like, what was it? It was like you guys bought it like, I don't know, 60 or 70 or something.
I don't want to talk about it.
And then it ran up to $2. You guys probably didn't sell your diamond hand in the whole way. And now it's back to 18 cents. And it's like,
yeah, but there's other coins that like
dude,
has done that pullback. So it's not.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like for the Bills community that's listening in, don't feel like it's just Bills, because that is absolutely not the truth. There's tons of, especially newer and revived projects that have seen this almost exact percentage pullback that you guys are seeing right now. Seriously.
I mean,
so
Doge did this, right?
Doge did this, but I'm just saying for the Bells community and what I witnessed, these guys are resilient. They're steady, consistent, and so I would say just keep that energy. Obviously, it's harder whenever things are down, but there's a reason why Bells was successful in the first place. And it has to a coin like Bells needs a community like Bells community. So you guys are the backbone. So just know that.
Appreciate that. Absolutely. 100%, bro. 100%.
Any last words, Adam?
It's always darkest before the dawn.
There you go. I feel like you're about to read a book to everybody.
No, that's the way it goes, man. Look, man, if you can't hold, you can't be rich. There's just that simple. This is the way it is. And it's scary, right? Hopefully you didn't invest so much that it's really scary for you. But when you're buying and you're scared to buy, like, Jesus, I don't know, is this going to completely die? That's when real wealth is made. And I'm not saying it's Bells. I'm not saying I don't know what it is, bro. But at the end of the day, if you talk to enough people in crypto and you know crypto, when there are opportunities like that, the truly brave motherfuckers are the ones who get really, really wealthy. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the way it works.
100%. And when you're buying at 60 cents, all you're doing is pumping the guys who buy at 14 cents, right? This time around, be the guy at 60 cents that people are buying in and pumping your bags, right? I mean, that's the ultimate feeling. So,
yep, 100%, bro.
All right, man. We will see you probably real soon. We'll probably see you probably for an Emblem Hour or something like that. It feels like, I love having you on, and thank you again.
Appreciate you guys. Take care, man.
All right, take it easy.
Another amazing episode of Bell's Corner. This is probably number 6 or 7 at this point, and just just really excited to kind of always just keep this going, right? Like it does seem bearish. Yeah, it does seem not fun anymore, right? I'm tired of this, Grandpa. That's too damn bad. I mean, that's kind of how it's been, right? But it'll get better. Honestly, can it get worse? Like, I don't think it can.
Yeah, and to be specific here, I believe Shizzy's talking about the entire space, right? So like the space is just kind of really, really hurting right now, but it's okay. What's important is to make sure that you're continually doing these type of things and just updating the community, and as the community learning, and you got to be updated, man, because whenever it turns on, it happens kind of out of nowhere, and you don't want to get caught on your heels. And so that's why it's important. That's why we still do this, and that's why we'll continually do it.
100%.
Yep. But we appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this episode of Bell's Corner. Like Shizzy said, we will have more episodes in the future. But if you wouldn't mind checking out our partners, we greatly appreciate that. Emblem Vault is the interoperability tool for the Bitcoin ecosystem asset classes, more specifically ordinals. You're going to be able to jump your ordinals like your puppets, node monks, quantum cats from Bitcoin layer 1 to Bitcoin layer 2 Merlin chain to abstract, which is going to have a whole section on Magic Eden for ordinals, and other EVM chains and Solana in the future as well. So they're really going to just bring all these ordinals to everywhere, every corner in the cryptoverse. So be ready for that. Also, they have their amazing Bitcoin agent wallet, smart wallet, that's going to be accessible to you guys very soon. You're going to be able to prompt Agent Hustle to be able to vault these ordinals for you guys to take them to different environments. Also, to to be able to make trades for you guys. Simple Bitcoin trades, runes trades. It's gonna be really exciting. And don't forget about their emblem vault founder vault keys, which you can actually trade right now on OpenSea as an ERC 721. But the week of the 17th of September is their TGE for their Bitcoin runes. So the runes are actually in the vaults that you actually can trade right now on OpenSea. But once that TGE happens, it unlocks and you can take those runes out into your Bitcoin wallet. It's going to be really exciting. You can learn more about all this at emblem.vision. And then BetBTC is the predictions marketplace of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They utilize ICP and Bitcoin technology for you guys to be able to place bets in their marketplace. All you need is a Bitcoin wallet, Xverse preferably, and some Bitcoin and 6 blocks, and you can start placing bets with your Bitcoin right away. They're going to add a feature called Create Your Own Markets that's going to allow you guys to earn up to 1.5% of the total volume of the bets placed in your custom markets. That's going to be really exciting. I can't wait to get involved with that. And so you can learn more at betbtc.win. And BitPerp is the perps and leverage DEX of the Bitcoin ecosystem. They're going to be launching on a Bitcoin L2 very, very soon. They have their paper trading competition coming out on Botonics. Before that, though, where you can just get really familiarized with their platform and start placing trades in the testnet environment, right? In the future, when they are mainnet, you're going to be able to trade synthetic fungible Bitcoin layer 1 tokens like Dog Go to the Moon, Ordi, Sat, stuff like that. Exciting stuff. Also, you're going to be able to trade tokens outside of the Bitcoin ecosystem that's popular, like Trump, Brett, those type of tokens. And so, visit their website to learn more, bitperp.io. And then Fluid Tokens, they are the UTXO wizard devs is what I like to call them, because they're the first to offer retail staking vaults on Bitcoin layer 1. They have a Dog Go to the Moon season 2 staking vault that's open. You got about 5 days from Friday, which is February 21st, to get your dog in there, and then it's closed up and you can't get in there. They also have some other vaults as well. If you are a founder, an Ordinal collection founder, or you etched a rune and you have a established community, you can actually have a vault or a staking vault set up for your community as well. You can reach out to Raul, the CTO of Fluid Tokens, for more information, and you can get more information at fluidtokens.com. And Merlin Chain, your number one scaling solution for Bitcoin native L1 assets and protocols. If you are a builder and you have a protocol on Bitcoin layer 1 and you want it to be more flexible, you can reach out to Merlin Chain's team and apply for a builder grant. A couple of our partners did, and they are in that program. So it's definitely possible. And if you are a retail user and you want to swap for Dog Go to the Moon, because they do have a liquidity pool on merlinswap.org, you can do so with your Merlin tokens or your wrapped Bitcoin there. Visit merlinchain.io for more information. And don't forget about our integrated partners in Foxy creating the metaverse called the Bitverse on Bitcoin, and their first-person shooter game called Clan Wars, which we live stream every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern. And the objective is to get more kills than Aaron, which is the co-founder of Foxy. It's a very fun competition there. And also Ordinal Hive, the aggregator Ordinal marketplace for Bitcoin layer 1 and layer 2 on Merlin. Cheapest Ordinals around on Ordinal Hive. And don't forget their trading tools with their live insights for live mempool insights, to where you can try to snag a cheap Ordinal that was listed accidentally under the floor price there. But we thank you guys so much for checking out our partners.
Yep. Great job, man. And as always, guys, please check out ordinalrevolution.com. We have some of the best articles dating all the way back to last year. If you know someone just entering space, please send them our website. We really feel like it can help them get started and caught up to where we are today. If you guys need a VPN, we have the number one VPN. That's Nord. Nobody should be really using the internet without a VPN, guys, because what happens is you're actually giving your IP to the websites you go to. Your IP could actually lead back to your address. You don't want that. I don't want that. Get a VPN. If it's not Nord, go use another one. There's plenty of other ones out there. So some free ones as well. But if you want the best, that's Nord. It's $3 a month, I believe. Check out everything here at ordinalrevolution.com. If you guys need tickets to Bitcoin 2025 at Las Vegas, it's going to be absolutely insanity, guys. I think May is going to be absolutely crazy, and you're going to want to be there because it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and you don't want to miss it. But don't wait till May to get your tickets. Get them as soon as possible. If you can get the festival tickets, they're a little bit more pricey, but it's definitely worth it. The first day was absolutely awesome in Nashville, and I'm sure it'll be the same way here. A lot less people. We actually seen everything a lot more easily. So check out everything there. If you guys need merch for this event or any event, check out our Shopify, all done through a third party. We supply these logos to these amazing shirts, jackets, hats, and so much more. Check everything out here at ordinalrevolution.com. And guys, we are live Monday to Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Pacific, and 4 p.m. UTC. Check us out all week, guys. Until tomorrow.
Peace.
Ordinal revolution. Let's go.